Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our African Nightcrawler system. So I've got two systems that are running. I've got one in a Busboy bin and then one in a 10-gallon tote. The Busboy bin has been doing pretty well, but after 20 days it's probably going to need some food and maybe some fresh bedding in there. We're going to see how it looks. Hopefully the worms are starting to really kind of grow into their own. And then we're also going to check out our 10-gallon tote, which has not been doing as well, but the worms seem to be getting better. Again, we're probably going to add some food to both of these, and we're going to see how we can kind of keep them going, and hopefully we can get the 10-gallon tote to fully recover. It has been recovering. It seems like every time that I check on it, it gets a little bit better, but it's still been much more moist than the Busboy bin because of the lid on it. And I don't know if that's good or bad for these worms. They seem to kind of like this drier environment maybe. So we'll continue working with it. But right now, let's go take a look at these systems, see how they're doing, and add some more food. All right, as we can see here, our last update was 6/29, and today is 7/19, so 20 days. Let's go ahead and take the top off here and take a look. First off, got some good castings coming in on the top here on this cover. I'm not seeing any worms up there or cocoons or anything, but we'll put that off to the side and we'll go ahead and dig in here. First, just like normal with this bubble wrap on top, you see the sides sort of drying out. Let me push this down just a little bit. You can see the sides over here drying out and a little bit over here. And, you know, that's just normal. And also over here even a little bit sort of drying out. That's normal with the bubble wrap on top. But what we're going to do here is we're going to dig in. We last fed on this side, as you can see by this dash right here. So that's the last side we fed on. So we're going to start off on the opposite side. Just dig in here and just take a look. I'm sorry, we fed in the middle here. Sorry, I thought I was looking at that wrong. So first off, we already found a worm. This is a good sign. First worm, a little bit small, but looks fairly healthy. Not quite as bluish in color as I would expect, but still looks like a nice healthy worm. We've got a little smaller worm over here as well. So they're working on this mango seed here. These things take a long time to break down. And actually there's another one right here. Again, a little bit smaller for the worms in here today. Or this, I should say today. This system, I feel that they've just kind of shrunk down a little bit. And they look a little bit more brown than usual. These are still the African Nightcrawlers though. Oop, here's another one over here. So we're definitely finding some worms in here. That's a good sign. Oh, no more. So they might need some more moisture in here. And they might even need some more food. It seems like they're primarily down to bedding material, or their casting material, and the bedding is also starting to disappear in this system. But this looks really good, this material, these castings. I'm really impressed with the castings that these African Nightcrawlers produce. It seems to be a kind of like, if you can see, I don't know if you can see the texture there, but it looks like the castings that they leave, because they're a bigger worm, the castings are just bigger. And they're easier to sort of separate. They're sort of drier. They sort of space out a little bit more. Oh, there's another worm right there. That one looks like a nice healthy one as well. Nice healthy mature worm. Let's just see right here, this last handful. A lot of time there's worms in the corners here. And nothing else in that side. So first section, really good. Saw a lot of worms in there. That's a good sign. Here's that mango seed. Let's put that back over here and bury it underneath. There we go. Let's go ahead and dig in this center section here a little bit. We got another mango seed in here. This one has a little bit more cardboard because we last fed here. But you can see actually there's quite a bit of food in here. A little bit dry side maybe of the bedding material, but overall it looks okay. Another mango seed. Oh, we got some little tiny worms in here. That's a good sign. That means we're getting some babies from somewhere. Didn't see any cocoons, but that's all right. I don't always see them. Actually, it looks like there's another baby worm in here right there. Look at that. I don't know if you can see him or not, but a little tiny worm in there. That's a little baby. So that's a good sign. We're getting baby worms in here by the food. Not surprising. They're probably laying their cocoons. Hold on. We've got some food that's left in here. It looks like we got, guessing this was celery maybe or something. Almost looks like corn on the cob, but I think this is celery that's left over. It's a little stringy. Again, another baby worm right there. So they are definitely multiplying in here. That's a good sign. That's really what I've been trying to do here, is grow out the population as well. And we're going to also try to be doing that in the urban worm bag that I have going with African Nightcrawlers. That one doesn't look quite as healthy, but it's moving a little bit, but it's in the food section, so I don't know. Again, this looks a little bit dry. We're probably going to have to add some water to this. Oh, there's another worm right here. And last handful here, let's just see what we can find on this side. Ooh, we got some coffee grounds that they still have not been able to work into. So we do have a little bit of food left over here. But ooh, there's a baby that fell off there. Right there, look at that one. That's a tiny little one right there. So, trying to get into these coffee grounds. Let's just rip these open. Kind of sprinkle them in here all over the place. Almost looks like there was 2 coffee bags in here, but I think it's just the coffee grounds are stuck together like that. So we'll just squeeze them apart, break it apart, spread it around. Let's just see here. Some more of the coffee ground in the bag. But overall, this looks really good. Again, some more worms in there, but hopefully we'll be able to see this population, I'm hoping, to really start to explode soon. And we get the last side over here. Now, I didn't go quite as in depth as I have in some of the times, or I've gone little by little, but look at this worm right here. Nice big one. The big ones seem to stay out of the food section. They seem to stay in the castings, which is sort of interesting, because we didn't find quite as many large ones in the food section really as we did on this side, and on, we already found a couple on this side. And there's another large one, and here's another one. This one looks like it's sort of flattened a little bit. Look at that, another one right there, another big worm. Another one right here. So they seem to stay out of this center section, which is kind of interesting. I don't know what this is right here. It's breaking apart, whatever it is. It's got a worm in there too. Slowly chewing this apart as well. I don't know what that was. But you can see this is just easily crumbling apart, which is fantastic looking material. We're definitely going to have to add more to this system. It's going to need more food. Another large one right here. As I said, they seem to be sticking to these corners rather than a center section, which is really surprising to me. I expected to see more really by the food, but they seem to be going towards the drier sections on the side here. So, the castings look phenomenal. And now the question is, where do we want to feed? So we fed here. We fed here 2 times ago we fed here. Last time we fed here. I think we're going to go ahead and go back to this side and we'll feed over here. So we're going to dig this up. Kind of spread all this material out. Kind of give the bottom a nice scraping here just to make sure it's all nice and loose. I don't like to leave material really tight against the sides or the bottom. That's how you get anaerobic conditions. And there we go. We've got our little pile up over here that we've got. Mango seed right here. We'll leave that right there for now. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, just as we've been doing, we're going to add some cardboard. Now the cardboard is a little bit dry this time. I did not pre-moisten it, but that's okay. We're going to add some water to this when we do this, and I'm also adding something that is a moist food, so which is watermelon. We're not going to be adding watermelon this time. I was going to add watermelon, and I decided to go with regular food because I didn't want to add too much moisture. This looks a little dry, but we can always add moisture from my BTI bucket, so I'm not too worried about that. So, alright, there we go. A little bit of paper in the bottom. That's to prevent the food from sticking to the plastic and creating anaerobic conditions. And now for food. This is where I was planning to originally do watermelon, but which I probably still could have done, but that's okay. We'll do our normal banana peels, which is a staple in my household, and I think I've mentioned many times before. Lots of bananas. And then, let's see, an apple core. I like to give a variety of food in my systems. And then, of course, we've got some coffee grounds. Let's see if we can rip these apart a little bit before we put them in there. There we go. Actually, we got off the entire packaging there. We can go ahead and break these apart and just spread them all along here. Look at that. That's exactly what I love to do with my coffee grounds. Have them spread all out through the system. And then we'll grab from the bottom here some carrots. Nice carrots. And then, actually, I still got stuff all over my gloves, but that's okay. That's a good healthy mix in there. We're not going to add too much to these systems. I'm trying not to make them like food-based systems quite as much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some more paper on top of this. Actually, first thing, mask and crushed crab and eggshell, right? So I've got my container here of crushed crab and eggshell. And I'm wearing a mask because it is powdery and it seems to be going up into the air a little bit more as I've built up more on this lid every time I open it. There we go, just a little bit this time. It looks like we still have enough in there. And then we're going to go ahead and add some paper on top of this. And the paper is really just to protect the worms, but also these worms do like bedding material. They seem to like cardboard, so I've been trying to give them a little extra compared to my other systems, and I've also been trying to get rid of a lot of my cardboard. I've got a ton of cardboard in my house. Now, last thing we need to add here before covering this up with castings is we need to add some water. So I've got a bucket on the side with some BTI mix. We're going to go ahead and pour some of that water on top. This is going to soak into everything here. And then also I think I'm going to add a little bit just kind of through the entire system right here. It's not going to hurt it. It's kind of dry. Put that off to the side, and let's go ahead and cover this back up. Go ahead and put that right there. Level this out a little bit, making the side that we just put the new food in a little higher. It's going to shrink down as they start consuming it. There we go, just like that. So it's sort of slanted this way, and that looks good right there. All right, now you take off my glove. Let's put our label on that says 719. I'm going to put that over here in this corner. And I do need to put on that we actually did add food. I did not put my little dash there. I can leave the other ones if I want to know which way I'm going, and then I can go backwards, or I could just go ahead and remove these, which I think I'm going to do now. I don't think I need those on there anymore. Doesn't matter that I fed them, weeks ago. And the last part to this, let me put on the top. So as you can see, the corners are still open, sides are still open, so it can still breathe really well. And we'll put this back on the shelf, and let's open up our 10-gallon tote. Be right back. All right, we're back here with our 10-gallon tote. As you can see, still been 20 days. And let's open this up. And the top here is dry. It is bone dry. There's no water on the surface at all, at any of the corners or anything. So it is dry in here, although the material underneath, that does look moist. So that's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing either. I don't know. I don't know with these worms as much. If this was my red wigglers, this would be like a perfect consistency, but I'm just not sure. It looks like the last time we fed, I've got the tape here to mark the center section. And did we feed last time? I didn't even look. We did. So I'm looking over there. We've got that little dash. So yes, we did feed last time. It was in that center section. So there we go. We know that we fed. That was where we fed in this section right here. Let's go ahead though and dig at this corner over here. Let's just take a look. We'll kind of go through this one a little faster maybe. Again, I haven't had the best of luck, it feels like, with this system. And I'm hoping that it doesn't die off. So you can see this is very, very moist. But it's not, like, I might be able to squeeze a drop or two out of this material. It actually feels like it's really the moisture level of content it should be. There we go, our first worm here. So there we go, we found our first worm in this system. Actually, there's another one over here in this corner as well. And these look pretty healthy, actually. They look a little healthier than the other system as far as coloring and everything. The other ones, they look kind of brown. This one, they look, they're sort of, I want to say a little bit bluish of a tint. So they look a little healthier in here that way. Nothing else in that corner? No. Okay. All right. Now, let's go to this side. We'll do the middle last, since that's where we fed. I was trying to lure all the worms into the middle here. So let's just spread all this out a little bit, take a look. I'm not seeing anything. Again, not seeing anything in here either. Oh, actually, hold on. There's a little worm. Where is he? Right there. We've got a small worm in there. You can see him. So they are reproducing in here as well. But definitely, I feel the other system is doing just a lot better. There's nothing in this one either. I'm going through this a little faster than the other one. I feel the other one has a lot more stuff going on. So now let's do this center section here and see what we find. First off, the castings do still look like they're starting to create a good amount of castings in this system. I'm seeing a lot of them, especially right here in the center section. You can just see that there's just a lot of them stuck to the cardboard and everything, and it looks like it's actually pretty healthy. So that's a good sign that there's castings sort of all over the place. Not seeing any food in here though. Oh, there we go. There's a worm right there. Didn't miss him. I'm not seeing too many worms in here though. Oh, there's another one right here. Another small one. Right there. Let's just move that back over. Oh, here we go. You got some coffee grounds in here. We definitely have some fresh cardboard that has hardly been touched by the worms. It looks a little dry too, but you can see this right here. This is coffee grounds. This should be perfect. This should be teeming with worms. I only see 2 on there. One right there. Oops, let me pull this up a little more. And the second one right there. That's all I'm seeing on this right now. Anything inside? I think those are potworms inside. I don't think those are actual African nightcrawlers, which is normal. I usually find potworms on my coffee grounds, so not a big deal. Oh, here's an African nightcrawler right there, though. That's a good sign. I do wish I was seeing a few more in here than what I'm seeing. I might have to add more to this system at some point. Although, here's another one over here. So, I mean, we're not giving them much time. I mean, you have to remember, there's not like a million of them in here. Actually, here's another one right here. So there's 2 in this section. But we haven't given them a whole lot of time to reproduce in here, sort of like I have when I first got them. And there wasn't a massive amount in here. But hopefully they'll start to come back in this system. That's the hope. You know, as we continually add a little bit of food. There's another one right there, and there's actually one that fell out right here. Or was one. There we go. Here's another one right here that fell through the first scoop. So overall, this is doing okay. I don't know if I should add food or not. I'm kind of mixed on that. I feel like there's plenty of food in here with those coffee grounds for how many worms are in here. But you know what? Maybe we'll add just a little bit. We'll just add maybe a couple little scoops over here. I'd hate to not have anything added. So we'll just add I'm just looking to see what we've got in here. All right, we're going to add some of these carrots over here. These are frozen solid. And they've got some ice on them too, but that's okay. Maybe just a little bit more. Let's just see here what I got on the bottom here. Here we go. This is perfect. So what I've got here is I've got the carrot peelings. It looks like maybe some lettuce, but I think that's a good... I don't want to add too much to this system. It's just not, it's not processing through a ton of food right now. But we're going to add a little bit. I don't think this needs crushed crab or eggshell. I see lots of white dots on stuff, so I think it's okay. I'm not adding any more cardboard either because I just don't see a lot of worms in here. But we're going to go ahead and cover that up really well. I'm not too worried about the worms. They'll find it or they won't. And I'm going to go ahead and peel off my little sticker here and re-stick it if I can. And there we go. So that's going to come off right there, and we're going to put it on this side to mark that we fed over there. And that's it for this one. We're gonna make this, as I said, pretty quick. This does not need moisture, even though the lid was dry. Bedding feels plenty damp, and I don't want to overdo it with moisture in the system either, because they seem to kind of like it a little bit drier. The air circulation should be enough in here for what they get with those holes on the sides. And we do need to add our little mark here to say, hey, food was added. So we're going to go ahead and make our little mark. And there we go. And this is ready to go back on the shelf. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any thoughts or just anything you want to talk about, let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure to respond. Thank you for watching.